Sterling Fox, and I welcome you today to a review of my Scrapping Off the Weight journal that we have all been doing. I saw that there were a few that were looking for different examples, and I have done mine in a Smashbook, so I wanted to share that with you today. This is my title page. It's a quote by Brene Brown, whom I love, and I love this quote, and just motivates me to really have compassion for myself throughout this whole journey, this weight loss journey. And so I just started with that. And I needed to add tabs in this journal. This is this is the first page, so it was hi, I didn't hear you come in, 2015, so just starting the year off. You'll see in a few minutes how I added tabs so that I could track things. So my first two pages are journaling. My first page is my reasons why. So I primarily speak about my children and how I wish to be healthy and vibrant and live a long life to be there throughout their milestones and my grandchildren. And then I did a my story page, which just gave kind of the information about when I first started to eat paleo and concentrate on weight loss, when I gained the weight as well. I'm showing you here the different tabs. So I have tabs that are weekly or incredible or reminders or monthly, and it does all the different tracking. So it allows me to go to that page more quickly, which I kind of need in this book because it's not linear. It's not linear, yes. I printed out a couple quotes from Pinterest that I loved and that motivate me, just really saying that I can just make it happen, no more excuses, and just get it done, which I love and very positive. I think I shared those on the board as well. This page, this spread is familiar to many of you. I think most of us have done this. I loved this idea and had seen it on Pinterest, and then saw that most of us were doing it. For mine, I decided to use transparency over top of the mason jars so that I could more easily move the stickers over from one jar to the other. I did a rewards page. I'm not positive that this is the best thing for me to have done. I like the idea of it, but I realized that, this is going to be a lifestyle change. It's not something as a goal just to get to in the end. So I journal about that later, but I did this initially, just kind of what I'll give myself as a reward at the different levels of weight loss. But I'm realizing that really the weight loss itself is a reward, so I'm not sure that I'm going to stick to that plan. We'll see how it goes as it goes along. Ironically, though, I have done it for the first two levels and I kind of appreciated it, so who knows, maybe it does work for me. I think you each have to just decide if it's going to work for you or not. This page were my beginning photos, so not loving those, but they are motivating because you see yourself and you see what's happened to your body and realize that that's not the way you want to look and feel. So I did all my beginning measurements as well, and then on this page I'll be able to do my, when I meet my goal, to be able to do the closing photos. And then I did a page that was just about celebrate me. So I filled out labels and stuck them on, just things that I appreciate about myself, things that I like about myself, so that I realized that, we're talking about a whole person here who's going through this journey, not just a number on the scale, and a place to kind of come back and remind myself of the reasons why I want to keep myself healthy, because of all these other qualities that I wish to share with my family and my community. So it's interesting, though, I haven't gone back and really looked at those. It's funny how we don't look at the positives, we just keep doing the tracking. So then obviously the beauty of a Smash journal is that you have lots of room to journal, and so this was a journal entry from early on in the month where I had a conversation that had inspired me, and then this page was celebrating that I had done well even while we had gone winter camping as a family, and so I talked about making good choices while we were away and feeling good about that. This is a weekly kind of recap that I'm doing. Sometimes I did the pictures, but not every week. And I just share what the weight loss had been each week, how my eating had been, how my exercise had been, just kind of doing a reflection so that I can see what's working and what's not working. So I'm going to keep that up because that's a nice, just weekly, end of week kind of reflection. The next page shows my favorite recipes. So I've been taking pictures of some of the recipes that I really have liked. The one there is the banana chocolate ice cream. That's just a frozen banana ground up with chocolate raw cacao powder. And this is a really good citrus quinoa chicken salad that I've now made twice. And really like it. So I'm just putting things in there that I can remember which ones really were a hit. And this kind of continues. This was during my first week, some of the food that I ate, and just realizing, omelets filled with veggies and doing my juicing. These are things that are kind of standards that if I can keep up, they definitely aid me in feeling really good and losing the weight that I want to take off. You see the card there that says you can do it. That's how I first started tracking, but I soon switched to almost all tracking on my phone, and that was because I got my Fitbit and I wanted to sync it with MyFitnessPal, and that's really worked for me. I really like using technology. This is that photo, someone on our group, I can't remember who it was, shared that you could go in and put in the weight now and the weight that you want to be and see the difference in the model. So I really liked that. And I added from Scraptastic this little flare button that says meh and yeah, so that I can see that where I am, where I'm headed to, and how I feel about that, obviously. So that's just kind of a cute, fun little thing. And I love that the page said the shape of things to come. So I will hopefully journal about that as I get closer to my goal. The next page I have reminders. This is, the tab says reminders, and it's my two reminders are that yes, it takes time for me to chop and juice the veggies that I do for my juice, but there's so much goodness that goes into it. I want to remember that, and also that when I eat better, my whole family eats better. So I'm just kind of putting reminders, things that I want to focus on as I move through. So there's room for more there. And this is all about my tracking. I found this little quote about the golden rules of tracking. It kind of goes, if you bite it, write it. If you drink it, ink it. If you snack it, track it. If you nibble it, scribble it. So just the importance of really being true to tracking. And then I go into showing how I track with my Fitbit, my number of steps and my sleep. And then through my FitnessPal, I have, I think now, probably 30 straight days or something like that of tracking through my FitnessPal, and I love that those two apps actually do work together. That's the Fitbit screenshot, and my goal is 10,000 steps. I'm clearly not getting there every day, but that's my goal, at least 4 times a week. And then my FitnessPal is wonderful. As I said, I've done it every day, even on the bad days, and that's the whole point. The last 2 days had a couple bad days, and when you track it, you see why you've gone off course. And then this last one is the C25K, which is a running app that gets you out and running. So that's been helpful for me too, because I'm not a runner, and I have been enjoying that motivation. So just a few pictures of me exercising in the snow in Canada, just doing it anyway. I love walking, so that's been great. But I realized we've had a lot of cold weather here, so I had to join an indoor rec center so that I could also walk and run inside. And then I do kind of keep track just periodically on what's happening with my exercise. When I do go to the rec center, I'm doing weights as well, which is new for me. So I'm just kind of writing down what's happening and what's working and what's challenging for me with that. Then I've got quite a few pages that are blank, and that's the whole point of the Smashbook, is that I have room to journal or room to put other things. They may not be linear, but that's okay with me as long as I'm really, spending some time writing about what's happening and what I'm finding is working and not working. This page had a top 10, so I use that. I haven't done all 10, but I use that to document what things for sure I know are working and that I want to remember, to keep going in the journey, what things are helpful to recall and remember. And then I do have a monthly page. I think we're coming up on that. Yeah, well, I guess I'm showing you blank pages. So then I flip to the monthly page, and that's a monthly calendar. So many of you are doing something similar in your Heidi Swap journals. These are fairly small, so they're tricky. The first month I focused on clean eating and meal planning. So really eating paleo and juicing. And then this month, what I'm doing is focusing instead on the 10,000 steps, and I'm tracking how many steps I am doing each day. Then I'm just showing you there's blank pages, and so there will be time to be able to write, and continue what I'm doing, and perhaps there's other things that I want to focus on as the year goes on. So there's lots of room for that, and there's celebration pages at the very end. And here in the back folder, I'm showing you the things I'm not using anymore. But thanks for watching, and hope that helps give you some ideas for your journals. And let's just keep at it, ladies. We're doing great.